Welcome back to Nerd News Today. I'm Matthew.
And I'm Vinny.
And today we're taking a look at some new WWE Elite action figures from Mattel.
So what we have here is from the recent Wrestlemania Legacy line of Elite. I have over here the Macho King, Randy Savage.
And over here, Daddy, let me tell you who I got. Let me tell you something right now, because in my hand, right here, reach out and touch this figure, Dusty Rhodes, baby.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Yeah,
Let's give you that one.
I've been practicing.
Yeah. These are from their match from Wrestlemania 6, which was the mixed tag match, which was actually the first ever mixed tag match in WWE history on at least WWE pay-per-view.
Yeah, if we're wrong, someone out there in the comments will let us know, and please do let us know.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, it was a pretty big deal to have that match, and it was also a big deal to have Dusty Rhodes at a WrestleMania. And finally, we have him immortalized with the polka dots and everything in his match with Macho King.
So even with this Macho King, we never really got too many Macho King figures to begin with.
Not really.
We had more Macho Mans than Macho Kings.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for this.
So let's talk about packaging real quick, and it's what you get with any of the WWE Elites. Nothing real different, nothing special. Just nice big window in front so you can see everything in there.
The only thing is that this is done in the style of WrestleMania. Now, these are right now only available, I believe, on Ringside Exclusive. They haven't come out yet in stores, if I'm not mistaken.
But when they do, I'll make sure to have links at the very least for Amazon and my affiliate links in the description below, but we'll get to that later.
Now, also with this set, there is an Hollywood Hogan and a Rock that comes as part of the set, but each figure itself has a piece of Mean Gene Okerlund in it. So you could build a Mean Gene out of this if you decide to collect the entire series.
So you will have to get the entire series, otherwise you're going to be like us and just have a floating, disembodied, unlimbed Mean Gene.
Now, as we turn these around, like all other Elites, there is a little bit of a bio with their height, their weight, and a little bit of their notable accomplishments.
It basically cues us in into what outfit these guys are wearing, and we already know what it's from because it's WrestleMania.
It's WrestleMania 6, which was held in the Sky Dome, and that was the same WrestleMania as the Ultimate Challenge between Hogan and Warrior.
So I think at this point there's nothing left to do except for us to take these figures out of the box and get them into the ring.
Ooh yeah!
That's right, baby! And here is our Macho King and our Dusty Rhodes now out of the packaging.
And as you can tell, they're in their iconic WrestleMania 6 match attire, which already off the bat, one thing that we both were disappointed with, but I could somewhat understand it considering cost reasons. Macho King does not have his entrance jacket. If they would have given him the entrance jacket, they would have had to give him the shirt to wear underneath his jacket because he was starting to wear shirts underneath jackets in this era. Makes sense not to have the jacket from a cost perspective.
And to be fair, they actually set a precedent previously, because when they put the Target version of him out, this is the Macho King from like many years ago, when they did that version, he also didn't have a jacket. He basically had the exact same accessories.
Exactly. So, it was only the crown and scepter.
Yeah, so you know, they kind of set the precedent, as much as we both miss it, because we both agree we want the jacket, and it would be ideal to have a jacket. But, you know, it is what it is, and yeah, it's definitely a cost issue.
Yeah, I think the only Macho King to have an entrance gear with him was the ringside exclusive Macho King, which that was when he was still wearing trunks.
Yes, for the most part, they haven't worn jackets.
But let's talk about the attires themselves. You could tell that they put a lot of attention to detail, though, on the Macho King's wrist and his attire. It's pretty spot on 1-to-1. I especially love how they have the wristbands going up all the way up the forearms, which I think is the first time for any Macho Man figure.
Yeah, it's never been that high before.
Yeah, it was always the standard wrist tape and finger tape.
Yeah, generally if it's one higher, it's been like that point. Never all the way to the end of the forearm.
Which I think, I have to look back at the defining moments of WrestleMania 7 Macho. I don't think his wristbands even went up to the forearms, which it did in the match. Gonna be pretty interesting to look back, but again, they got all the details right with this attire for the Macho King on WrestleMania 7.
Yeah, check out those pants too. I mean, that's some signature Macho pants right there.
Oh yeah, and this was when he really started wearing the bright, vibrant colors in his attire.
Yeah, these are nice pants.
Yeah.
This is a good outfit. It's a very good choice that they went with this one.
Yep, and the boots, just the double-laced boots and everything. Now, Dusty Rhodes, well, yes, we've seen the iconic yellow polka dots in many other figures. The one that, in terms of the attire that sets this figure apart, is now it's the inverted yellow and black polka dots on his entrance shirt, which I think he only wore for WrestleMania 6. Of course, we got the iconic polka dot elbow pad on his right arm, so he could just drop that bionic elbow on anybody.
Plus, there is one thing that's very important, as this is after Thanksgiving, and we're currently filming in the holiday season. That's Dusty is very thankful for his polka dots.
Oh, that he is. Even going down to the boots. Look at the level of detail on his boots.
I've got another Dusty Rhodes we'll take a look at in a few moments. Maybe we'll bring him in right now. But yeah, I've got some Dusties here, and he's always had those boots because it's the signature Dusty boots, and they're always like one of my favorites that they've done.
Now, as you could tell, the shirt is removable, very simple, by taking off the Velcro on the back and slipping it right off.
Seductive Dusty Rhodes unrobing.
And of course, you have his iconic birthmark on his stomach. And actually a point of attack for a few of his opponents in the past.
Yes, because the old liver spot is a great area to attack.
Macho King only came with a second set of hands, which is basically the opposites of the hand that he comes standard. Of course, wrist tape painted on the hands, very nicely, but pretty minimal for the Macho King.
Yeah, I guess because he got the crown and the scepter, then he already basically got like the majority of his accessories.
Fair. But also, with this line, we do have the head of Mean Gene. So.
Although, this also makes him like the more sought after figure of the bunch too, because it's all about the head sculpt these Build-A-Figures. And,
True. So
the fact that only Macho comes in, and Macho was one of the ones to sell out the fastest, yikes.
Yeah, good luck trying to find this head, if that is the case. But also, which comes with this Macho King, we've seen this before, does come with his crown that's removable, and scepter, which, as Matt was telling you about, interesting.
You can see it now, yeah, it comes with a little piece of tape there to help, I think that's just to secure it in the packaging.
Just to secure it in the packaging, so that is removable. Let's see how...
Is the scepter sticky still? I would assume no, right?
No.
Okay, yeah.
But the hand is pretty tight to grip the scepter to begin with, so not a big deal.
And again, these accessories are what we got with the other Macho Man that we took a look at earlier. So yeah, same crown. It looks like the difference is the color of the jewel, oddly enough, between the two of them.
Yeah, it's a little bit brighter on the newer Macho King. Now, one thing I'm starting to notice, we do also have his glasses, but look at the design they put on those glasses.
It's a very nice design.
Very nice, very intricate, because again, at this era, this was when Macho King's glasses were starting to get a little bit more designer. And every set of glasses was becoming unique to an attire. And actually, it does feel like that this is a new mold.
I think the glasses are new. If they're not, they could fool me, but the detail is definitely outstanding.
Oh, the details is absolutely amazing.
I think these are some of the most detailed spectacles I've ever given a Macho Man figure. Like, there's a lot of real intricate line work in there.
Yeah.
Or I guess it's probably decal work. But either way, like, this is, especially compared to that other Macho who we're going to be referencing to throughout this video a lot. Yeah, just big difference between the two of them.
So, this is, in fact, a new mold for glasses for Macho.
So brand new.
Brand new mold. Because...
I'm sure we'll be seeing them again.
Oh, 100%, because this was actually the style of glasses that Macho King and Macho Man would begin to wear.
If we're wrong about this, let us know. I don't remember what he came with the recent ring release as well. He might have had those as well, but I don't quite remember.
I'm going to take a good look, actually. I did not pay attention to that. I feel like the Ultimate Macho that came out was still with the ski goggles with just paint over them.
All right. Well, if anybody out there in the comments wants to let us know, too, feel free to.
Yeah, but if that's the case that we're getting a new mold of glasses, finally, because with a lot of his figures, he needed a new mold for glasses.
Now let's talk about some Dusty Rhodes action here. And again, let's talk about the head sculpt. And I want to bring in that other Dusty we showed off before for the boots. Because let's talk about head sculpts. Now, a lot has changed. Because this was a Dusty from, I don't remember what wave it was. But it was like
I think 70 that was like 70,
yeah. It's a long time ago. And a lot has changed in the world of their head sculpts, their paint jobs. This one here, that's the older version, it kind of looks a little bit like Rodney Dangerfield, doesn't it?
A little bit, yes. And that's like happy-go-lucky Dusty, I would have to say.
Yeah, even though this is like NWA Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah.
Where he would have been probably the most violent out of all of his different runs in wrestling.
That is true.
So one thing I did notice is if you take a look at the heads here, The big difference I noticed is there's not really too many blade marks on this WrestleMania Dusty.
Which is quite interesting.
Because they would still be there. They didn't magically disappear. He never had any
No,
kind of
but
plastic surgery.
Look at the packaging for the Dusty.
And so oddly enough, on the packaging, they've actually photoshopped out his blade marks.
Yeah. Granted, on the live action one, you could clearly see them.
They've definitely done some Photoshop work in the back of the box to make it look like less obvious, but they can only do so much because his hair was in the way. But yeah, they're actually trying to hide his blade marks.
That's interesting, but from a sales perspective, makes sense because at the end of the day, who are these toys trying to cater to?
Adults.
Well, are we really adults if you think about it? We're kids at heart.
No, these are adult collectibles, and yes, kids will buy them, but how many kids are going to know who Dusty Rhodes is?
There is something called the WWE Network and Peacock around, so...
There is, but I would say these especially are targeted for adult collectors. These are nostalgic figures. So, I mean, maybe they're trying to make it friendlier for the kid market, perhaps? I don't quite know.
Could be, so...
But still, I mean, they hadn't done that in previous Dusties, and now they're trying to hide his blade marks. That's kind of not good. Yeah, we're going to have to look for other future Dusties and see what happens there. I'm not liking that. That's actually that's off-putting about this figure.
True. But at the same time, when Dusty was at WWE, was he in really violent matches anymore?
He was not, but his forehead was still the same.
Fair point. Fair point. That's a detail that I did not pick up on. I gotta give you kudos on that.
Yeah, I got kudos.
Yeah. And cooties. Now, Dusty comes with actually 2 sets of extra hands. Opposites for the hands that he comes standard, but he also gets a set of closed fist.
He also gets this finger here to go inside his ear and dig for gold.
Yeah. And he probably had plenty of gold. Yeah. Another thing that came with Dusty, the body of Mean Gene Okerlund.
So Macho has the head of Mean Gene, Dusty's got the body. So we can actually form them together now, like we're doing a Mean Gene Voltron, and show you guys how that looks. So the other parts you're going to be missing will be in the other figures in this wave, which is Hollywood Hogan and The Rock.
Yeah. So...
Wow, that's a frightening image. It's like the 1932 silent picture of Freaks.
Yeah, but that is definitely creepy.
Yeah, let's
let's scoot away from that. Now, articulation-wise, very quickly on both figures, it's the standard elite articulation. Plus, we have now the double-jointed elbows.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only difference nowadays between anything you've seen in the past here is the double-jointed elbows. But they've had them for a while.
I was about to say, it's now becoming standard too, the double-jointed elbows for the figures and the double-jointed knees.
And thank goodness for that.
Yep, so definitely with elites now, they're very photo-friendly.
Yeah, they're wonderful to pose. I mean, what we should mention in case you haven't noticed, they are all on stands. These are not the ringside stands. Today I'm actually using the NECA stands, which I've never tried before in these figures. First time doing it, and they fit really good, really snug. They feel very secure in these. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I just wanted to point that out to you guys.
Yeah, because the one thing, as we were trying to set this up, the Macho King was easy to stand up. Dusty, not so much.
Yeah, Dusties have always been kind of funny to set up because they're just really kind of big, floppy, bulky figures.
Yeah.
And their boots also are kind of rough to pose.
So, yeah. So just giving you that heads up in case you guys are planning to do some photography for your figures. Matt, would these be must-buys for you?
You know, tough to say. I really like the Macho King a lot. I'm always a sucker for Macho Kings. I like the accessories. You know, the big thing for me was the lack of jacket, but I also know that past they haven't done jackets with these either in the elites. So it's tough because I have so many Machos already, and we already saw I have that Target green version of him as well.
But that was with a inferior head sculpt too. This was like that was the beginning of Mattel's deal and them dealing with the Macho Man. And at that time, I felt like they really didn't get the face well until now.
I mean, for me, it's a high, very high maybe. It's a very good Macho King, though. If you didn't have that Target one, yeah, definite buy. But I already have it, so it's a little tougher for me to want to get the same thing again. And as for the Dusty, that's also a tough one, because the Dusty I have here, it's not great, but it's a decent Dusty. And I feel like they haven't had a good time getting the Dusty heads right at all, really. I think Jax did a great job with their Dusties.
But compared to the one that you showed earlier, I feel like this head, minus those blade marks, which you have a great point on, this is definitely a superior head sculpt.
I mean, they're both, as far as like figures go, superior just because they have the better paint jobs, the better new head sculpts. The bodies are better painted as well. So, you know, if you don't have any, and to be fair, there haven't been a lot of Dusties either. So, I mean, yeah, this is a pretty great all-around WWF-style Dusty to have. So, For me, because I already have some of these figures, I'm going to say, yeah, I'll buy them, but I'm going to wait till they start dropping in price a little bit.
I would say you're right. If you've had these figures in the past, you could wait a little bit. But like you said right now, the Macho King, that's the hard one to find.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance there'll be some restocks. I mean, who knows? Maybe he's in stock even right now.
Right now, we could only get these on Ringside.
Yeah, so you might eventually see them pop up on like Target or places like that.
Come WrestleMania season, because this is the WrestleMania line.
Yeah, so there's a possibility you'll see them again. If you didn't get these previous releases, go for it. I'm probably more inclined to get the Dusty, even though I love the Macho a lot. So it's tough for me, but yeah, they'll be a buy, but an eventual buy.
Yeah. But overall, still great figures. Lately, Mattel has been definitely nailing all its figures.
Yeah, these are excellent figures. I mean, even if I'm not going to buy them right away, they're still really outstanding pieces. Just all-around great stuff.
These would definitely be great additions to your collection.
So that's our look at the WrestleMania editions of Macho King Randy Savage and Dusty Rhodes from their iconic match together. And yeah, definitely worth picking up though. Either way, I mean, let us know what you guys think in the comments. So if these are day one buys for you, or if you're going to be like me and hold off in a little bit and see if they drop down in price.
But with that, I'm Vinny.
And I'm Matthew. This has been Nerd News Today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Oh yeah!